Join me and the Salty Locs crew as we search for the perfect dive spot on a windy day in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. It's a bit sporty out, so we'll try our luck on the north side of the island.
Hello. Morning. Just coming back in?
Want to join me on Dive 1 to get a taste of what it's like diving the wall? Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to follow me to the depths. What lies at the edge? But for now, footage from Dive 2. We'll explore this reef, which is not too far from our first dive site, North Star. After a short swim, just about 150 yards from shore and only a few yards away from the wall drop, let's see what we'll discover today. Great visibility is always a bonus. We'll be hovering at about 40 feet for this dive. As you can see, the visibility is pretty good and we can see quite a bit ahead of us. This reef seems like prime structure for lionfish, but I've never been here and I'm not sure how many divers venture to this area. There are lots of black triggerfish, also known as black durgans, swimming around here. I'm rocking with my long polespear today and no spare gun. This is the second beach dive of the day and I didn't find any lionfish on the first dive. So I decided to leave the ZooKeeper behind, but can't help but look for lionfish anyway. And of course, as luck would have it, I spot a lionfish. Unfortunately, I missed the mark on this little guy, and he hides somewhere inside the reef. Leaving the ZooKeeper behind doesn't mean no lionfish. It just means it's going to take me a bit longer to secure my catch. You may ask, how can you hunt lionfish without a ZooKeeper? Well, I always keep a pair of shears in my BCD. So if I find a lionfish, I just clip the venomous spines off and then place it in my catch bag like any other fish. This is not ideal, but it will have to do. I spot another lionfish hanging under an overhang and get another chance to reduce the population. As I work on pulling my shears out of my BCD pocket, I keep my eyes peeled. Sharks seem to frequent the reef near the wall. Lionfish have 18 venomous spines, and if you plan on hunting or handling them, it's a good idea to know exactly where each one is located. This is what a lionfish will look like once all the venomous spines have been removed. Lionfish use their pectoral fins to corral their prey. Those are the long, flowy fins on either side of their bodies, but they don't contain any venom. I can feel something lurking, and sure enough, it doesn't take long before I spot it. There's a shark cruising around, not too far behind. And now that I have a fresh catch in my bag, I'll have to keep an eye on its distance. Good thing the water is nice and clear. For now, it's swimming along the edge of the reef, right above the wall drop. Swim-throughs, overhangs, pinnacles, huge boulders, I get a kick out of swimming under, around, and in between any space that's big enough for me to get through. Bonus tip, lionfish love overhangs and other structure. Now, normally I would be able to grab both of these lionfish myself, but without the zookeeper, I want to make sure that we don't lose sight of the second one and try to get Zion's attention. He holds on to the freshly speared lionfish while I cut the spines off the first one. Now you get an idea of how much more time consuming this method is, but it's worth it when you're in a pinch. With the venomous spines of the lionfish removed, we place them safely in the catch bag. In general, grouper is very tasty and considered a prized catch. Some species, such as red grouper and Nassau grouper, are pretty easy to catch. Nassau grouper are currently considered endangered and is listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. Sharks have very cool ways to sense things in the water. Sharks are like underwater detectives with their sharp sense of hearing. They can hear sounds from really far away, and underwater, sound travels much faster than it does on land. Sharks like low-frequency sounds, especially ones that wounded or sick animals make. It's like their way of hearing a distress signal, which is likely the reason this one has been swimming nearby for most of this dive. They have a fancy electrosensory system on their heads. These receptors can detect even the tiniest electric fields, like the ones created by the Earth's magnetic field or when an animal's muscles contract. Sharks also have a lateral line, which is like a row of small pores that go from their snout to their tail. Water flows through these pores and special cells help them feel any changes in pressure. This is super handy because it helps sharks know if there's something tasty nearby or if a bigger animal is around. The lateral line also helps sharks navigate and be aware of their surroundings. When they swim, their movements create waves that bounce off things like rocks or reefs. This helps them to make a mental map of what's around them. Kind of like how we use our eyes to see where we're going. It's about that time to turn the dive around and head back to shore. Lionfish have 18 venomous spines in total, 13 located on their dorsal fin, 3 on their anal fin, and 1 on each side of their pelvic fins. There is no venom contained in their flesh, so they are safe to consume. If you plan to hunt lionfish, I highly recommend you purchase a containment unit such as a ZooKeeper or Lionfish locker. This will greatly lower your chances of being poked and is much more efficient than clipping the spines off of individual fish, especially in areas with a larger population.
Come on, little guy.
You gotta look for it.
The 1, 2, and 3 notch. There's notch right here.
Okay.
Actually, I like 1, 2, and 3 right here.
It's holding in.
I don't know what coral I touch. Probably a fire coral. Yeah, that was burning my arm.
Still going. Yeah, I already did that.
Y'all having lionfish tonight. Get excited.
I have my phone right now.
Appetizer now. That's an appetizer.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button and join me as we explore the wall at North Star. I'll see you on the next adventure. Stay salty, my friend.